Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast, where we're going to be breaking down the Champions League betting markets for this weekend for the final between Liverpool and Madrid. Hopefully there'll be some useful tips and some stuff to follow up on. My name is Richard from Gambling.com, and
I'm Alex.
And so we're going to break down a couple of different markets that are on offer at the moment and see if there's anything worth going after. So I will take the lead. So I was looking at match betting first, outright wins. At the moment, Madrid are 23-20 with Ladbrokes for a win. That's a probability of around 46%. So Ladbrokes think they're 46% likely to win. And Liverpool are 2-1. I would probably agree with that. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Real Madrid won the last cups, and they definitely are probably one of
the last Champions League.
Yeah, the last Champions Leagues, and they probably are the best team in the world. So there's no point to think that Liverpool are taking over Real Madrid. Even if Liverpool they do have a great scorers, and in just one match they just could do match of the life.
Yeah.
And do something great.
I suppose that it's a final, so it's that cliche thing of you never know what's going to happen in a final.
Yeah.
But I think that on paper, Liverpool have obviously done really well, especially towards the second half of the season. Obviously with Salah and Firmino bolstering their attack. But I think that Madrid on paper are considered to have underperformed in La Liga because they came third compared to Atletico and Barca. But I mean, Madrid's underperformance isn't overperformance for any other team. I think that you kind of have to follow Madrid for this one. That's my view on it.
Yeah, I'd say that the great thing of Madrid of this year is that they probably were more focused on the Champions League, and they made it work very well. They made everything they needed to do. They won 3-0 against Juventus.
Yeah.
At Juventus home. And they made it work at the very last minute with Juventus when Cristiano Ronaldo scored that penalty. So even if they were almost ready to play the extra times, they somehow make it. And they always make it.
Yeah, definitely. So I know that Ramos, Sergio Ramos was saying that their tactic, I was reading an interview about it, is basically to catch Liverpool on the counter because of Firmino and Salah. So speaking of Salah, the stats for him this season are unbelievable.
Yeah, he's really impressive.
So I'm pretty sure he matched, I don't know if he surpassed Liverpool's goal scorer record for the Premier League season.
He should be close enough.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's nearly there. If he hasn't already beaten it, I'm entirely sure.
I'm pretty sure that the record is detained by Ian Rush.
Yeah.
And I think he scored 37 goals in one season, and he scored 34. So,
it's 34 in the Premier League, and that was 0.69 goals per match, which is
something impressive. Yes.
But so he's 15-4 to score with Paddy Power at the moment, which is actually putting a fiver down on that. It's definitely worth a shot. I mean, everyone seems to think that goal scorer for the final is going to be between him and Ronaldo. Do you think that there's anyone else that could make a goal? Or?
I would definitely consider Firmino because that player is impressive, and he scored the same amount of goals as Salah. So he is just an unbelievable player, and if it wasn't for Salah, he definitely would be the greatest player of the Premier League this year.
Exactly.
He's just making a good job there.
That's the thing, isn't it? And I think that there's a couple of markets that we'll go into in a second that include Firmino to get an assist. And I think that I would say Firmino to get an assist if Liverpool were to score will be something for everyone to consider when betting on this match.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And the great thing is that AAA Sports is giving us the great opportunity to bet on Firmino scoring plus assisting maybe Salah for a new goal, and the odd is 16-1, so something.
So that's
really
16-1 for a goal and an assist for Firmino.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's
really
definitely a good one to go for. Nice. Cool. So moving on then, I've got a very interesting bet that I was discussing with you before the podcast, which is from Ladbrokes. So let me try and get this all out in one. Ronaldo and Salah to score, Firmino to get an assist, Varane and Henderson to get booked, and over 3.5 goals. That's 176 to 1 with Ladbrokes.
And I understand why.
Yeah, I understand why it's a long shot. Let me explain why I've parts of that bet that I think could come to fruition and parts of it that probably wouldn't. So Ronaldo and Salah to score is an obvious one.
Yeah.
I think everyone is expecting at least Ronaldo or Salah to score for this match, and that's reflected in what the bookies have been saying. So let's assume for this bet that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Firmino to get an assist, I could take that as well. Now the problem for this bet comes in with Varane and Henderson to get booked, because Henderson only has 1 yellow card in the Premier League this season, and Varane has 3 in La Liga. So between them, Varane's also a defender, so that's pretty low for in terms of yellow cards getting booked in your domestic season. You know what I mean? So I think that's where that's kind of hopeful to expect that one of them will get booked, but you have to get both of them to get booked for this. So I understand why the odds are so long for this, 176 to 1, but I thought it was a super interesting bet because in a final, over 3.5 goals is a little bit of a stretch, but it's something that could.
But if we start from two default goals by Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo, it's not even that much.
No.
We just need another couple of scores, which obviously is like a lot for a final match. But if we're talking about starting off with 2 goals already in the box because of Cristiano Ronaldo and Salah, that are 2 impressive players.
Yeah.
So it's not even that undoable.
No,
That's the
I don't
thing.
think so.
Considering the long odds, which is really long in this case, it's just, I'd say, a good opportunity.
Yeah,
if you're fool enough, it's definitely a good opportunity.
Definitely. So then looking at Ronaldo individually as well, a couple of stats on him. So he's 11 to 4 for first goal scorer. He's 8 to 13 for anytime goal scorer, that's around. So that means that the bookies are expecting him 60% to be an anytime goal scorer, which is really pretty crazy. You know, there's a 60% expectation that he's going to score at any time, and then he's 16 to 5 for last goal scorer. So it's interesting to see that there's an expectation that if he were to score, it will be more likely that he will be the first goal scorer as opposed to the last goal scorer, which is kind of an interesting one. So that's Ronaldo broken down a little bit. In terms of other players for the goal scorer market, I would have said Isco. I know that he's doubtful at the moment. He is still suffering from a knock. So maybe Marco Asensio. I'm pretty sure Asensio was 7 to 1.
And Asensio also scored against Juventus last year, and he was a really great promise last year.
He's a great player.
He just came out like a great player this year, and he's already scored in the final match last year, so he knows how to do it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that he could definitely play a part. So what other odds do you have listed then?
Yeah, I'd say that considering the scorer market, Salah is out for 5 to 1 on Paddy Power, and that's pretty nice.
He's 5 to 1 for a goal.
First scorer.
First score.
Yes, and also he's out for 11 to 1 on 888 Sports as scorer plus getting booked.
Scoring a book.
Yes.
Okay.
And to be honest, he never got a yellow card during the Champions League this year. But I think that Liverpool attackers are so aggressive, so impressive, that people like Sergio Ramos would not be dubbed if just kick them to kick them off just in order to stop them. So they will try to do that. And I think that Salah will be a bit nervous that night. So getting a yellow card, mostly if they're winning and they will be supposed to take it slowly or something like that. I think this could be a good opportunity.
A yellow card for this final is probably more likely for Salah than it would have been for the majority of Premier League games played in. And obviously the basic reason being that it's a final and tensions are high. And like I was saying earlier, Ramos has come out and said their basic tactics for this is to work on the counter and to basically do damage control with Firmino and Salah. So they're going to be focused on marking them really tight and ensuring that they're not getting away. And that frustration could spill over. But then again, you have to look at the stats. He hasn't been booked.
He got booked twice in the whole Premier League. And he never got booked during the Champions League.
But still, so that's twice out of how many games, you know?
That's the thing, but the reason why you be careful to not being booked during the league or during the Champions League is because you don't want to skip a match.
Yeah.
In this case, you can get booked.
For sure. Yeah.
So they will, mostly if the Liverpool is gonna make it work and win it, Salah and Firmino will be supposed to take it slow, as I already said. So they are the likely person to get booked in this case, because obviously you don't want middle fielders or defenders to get a yellow card.
Definitely. Yeah.
But
so I think that
yeah.
an interesting one building on top of that I have from Paddy Power is first goal scorer Salah, but Madrid to win 2-1. So that's 45 to 1. So my thinking is, if we go along with your bet with Salah, scoring and also getting booked, and if you combine that with this, the idea being that Madrid don't like being scored against. They're going to have a really, a comeback against Liverpool.
Back.
Might nick a goal in the last couple of minutes. I think that 45 to 1 on that, it's pretty long odds. It's unlikely to happen because I don't know if I see Salah scoring first and Liverpool losing. I'm not sure, because I think he's been their driving force the entire season. I think that they're going to have the fans behind them out there massively and at home. I think that if he scores first, I can see Liverpool going on to get a win. But I think that that's an interesting bet if people are thinking that Ronaldo is going to be capable of pulling one or two back as well. So yeah, I mean, there's a couple of really interesting ones on Salah at the moment. My favourite bet for this is Ronaldo to score first, both teams to score, and Madrid to win. That's at 12 to 1. So that kind of the reason that's interesting to me is because my pick for first goal scorer will be Ronaldo anyways. I think that both teams are likely to score. Paddy Power currently has the option of a draw is pretty long odds.
Yeah.
They're really expecting them to go for it for this. So I think that's another good one. What do you think about that, Ronaldo to score first?
I think that, if you want to consider someone that could score first, it's Ronaldo or Salah, as we've already said. And I also think that Ronaldo knows how to be the man of the match in these cases. So, as we were saying at the very beginning of the podcast, Ronaldo is likely to be the first or the last one.
Yeah.
So, or he could also be both.
Yeah.
He's just such a great player that he knows how to make the difference in these kind of matches. He knows how to feel under pressure. He knows how to manage the pressure.
He's well used to it.
Yeah, he's very used to it.
At this stage. Yeah.
So sure. I'm definitely considering Real Madrid and Ronaldo in particular like more usual to play these kind of matches. So they definitely know how to manage it and make Liverpool players feel under pressure, nervous, frustrated.
I think that Ronaldo understands how to play against Liverpool as well. I think Liverpool's last Champions League final was 2006, I believe.
Yes,
when they won
against Milan.
Against Milan, that's right.
They won against Milan and they also lose against Milan 1 or 2 years later.
Yeah, that's right.
But they played 2 final matches against Milan in a couple of years, and they managed to do a great comeback against Milan during their last Champions League trophy. And they were under 3-0 at the end of the first half, and they managed to win that cup. And that was a great match. That was an impressive one.
Definitely. So I think that one bet that I would avoid for this is draw no bet. So if anybody doesn't know what this is, draw no bet is when you place a bet on a team to win, but if the match ends up being a draw, you get your money refunded.
Yeah.
So the odds for this are always significantly shorter, but my thinking behind this was, while it is an option, it's the final. I would go all out for an outright win. I wouldn't bother with this kind of conservative sort of betting. I think for a lot of people, the Champions League final, a lot more novice bettors definitely take on the Champions League final. But even for professional bettors and people that bet all the time, it's something that it comes around once a year. So I think you should kind of,
it's just a yes or no.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's my tactic is just to kind of go all in on it, I suppose.
Yeah.
So then Another interesting one was Firmino to score first, but Madrid to win 2-1. So that's 80-1, and that's also a Paddy Power. So what do you think of that?
Firmino to score first, Madrid to win 2-1. That's an interesting one, but thing is that in this case we're saying that Salah's not going to score, and I don't know. It definitely is interesting, and Firmino is, it's same odd than Salah to score, I'd say, but in the same time, I don't feel like I can say that Salah's not gonna score. It's just that thing.
Yeah, you'd kind of, with the season that he's had, it's sort of like the ending to the fairy tale, isn't it? Right? He
deserves to score, and he will look forward to scoring in the final Champions League match. Even because I think that his head is towards the Ballon d'Or, and scoring in the final match definitely would help him. And winning the final Champions League match would definitely bring him in a really good position against Cristiano Ronaldo, which is definitely the other side of the coin.
Yeah, so I know you can bet on the Ballon d'Or at the moment, and I know that. So before this match, I'm pretty sure that Salah he's at like 2-1, to break, because it's been Ronaldo Messi for how long? It's been years that they've been winning it between them. So he's at 2-1 to break their streak. But I think if he has a really good game here, I think that if he plays
a nice World Cup,
if he plays well, I think that he's like 100. He's got to get it. I mean, he's been dominant compared to everyone else.
He definitely is going to be in the first three, in the top three. 100%. Definitely in the top three.
He's got to be. So I mean, I think that he'd be worth putting a bet on at 2-1 at the moment. They're relatively short, but I don't know. I'd put a couple of quid on that.
So in a way, that's the reason why I'm not very into that very long odd on 80-1
for Firmino to score. Yeah.
Because Salah is just looking forward to get a chance to win the Ballon d'Or, and if we'll ever spend a great year where he will be able to look forward to winning the Ballon d'Or, this is the year. This is just the year. He's living the dream, and he doesn't really want to wake up now.
Yeah, definitely. So the last one then, this one I found kind of interesting. I don't know how you'll feel about this. Both teams to score, so not picking any particular goal scorer, over 2.5 goals, and either team to win. So all that you're betting on is the stats. You're not betting on the wins. You're not betting on the actual goal scorers. So I think my opinion on this, over 2.5 goals, is a little bit more realistic. So compared to our 176-1 shot, which was over 3.5, I can't really see there being over 3.5 goals for this match.
Over 3.5 is like a lot.
I could see 3. I could see 3 goals.
Yeah, 3 goals.
I could see it being 2-1.
3 goals should be even easier, because we're just saying that Salah and Cristiano are going to score.
Yeah.
So if you just say that, we also have Firmino for Liverpool. We have Gareth Bale. We have Benzema.
Yeah.
We have Asensio. There are loads of great scorers there. Also Marcelo. Marcelo knows how to make the difference. And Sergio Ramos too. Sergio Ramos scored a lot during the Champions League final matches. So they all are great players and know how to score, and I'm pretty sure that he will make it work. And over 2.5 in this case is quite interesting. It's really interesting.
I mean, my gut would tell me for this that you're looking at 2-1 for the match. So over 2.5 would fit into that. But it's difficult to say, because it's going to be really, really, really tense. And I think that Liverpool are going to push super hard for this.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's going to be closer maybe than people might expect. I think there's an expectation that Real Madrid will just kind of take it home.
Yeah.
Maybe put 2 or 3 away and take it. But I think that it's going to be a closely fought battle, and that's certainly what the bookies are indicating as well. I think over 2.5 goals. Yeah, I would consider this bet. So both teams to score over 2.5 and either team to win. So that would mean the teams would have to win
in the 90 minutes
if there was extra time or anything like that. So I think that's reasonable. That's something that I would definitely consider.
That is reasonable. What's your opinion about penalties?
So, are you talking about penalties after extra time?
Yes.
So, in terms of it being likely, I don't think there's going to be penalties. I could see there maybe being extra time and someone coming away with a 2-1 win in extra time, or I couldn't see there being penalties. I couldn't see it going that far. I think that someone's going to knock something in. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the same. I think the same because there are loads of impressive players, and we've already seen that both their defenders were not very ready to go in the last few matches, so they made mistakes.
Yeah.
So I think that it will be more like a match played in the middle of the field with players, with big scorers ready to go and to make the difference. And they both will pay attention to not leave great opportunities to the defeaters, but in the same time, someone's gonna win in the 90 minutes.
I would tend to agree. I think they're going to be trying their best not to concede, and going back to that Ramos thing again of Madrid's tactics are going to be to counter here because they're expecting a big push. But I do think that's not to say that Liverpool won't come into it relatively cautious as well.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a good match, enjoyable match?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, Champions League finals are they're like the pinnacle of the football calendar, right? You know?
Sure.
Obviously, we've got the World Cup coming up, and that's just as exciting. But I think that specifically because there's an English team this year, I think that draws obviously a lot of attention. I honestly think that the performance of Salah this season is going to be one of the reasons why it's going to be a really good match to watch. You know, there's going to be a lot going on. There's a lot of different kind of storylines and stuff. What about you? You looking forward to it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Must be probably one of the best final matches of the last few years, because even if on paper it's obviously Real Madrid ready to take it over, at the same time there are loads of great players in both sides, and you can't really say that because it's one match.
Yeah.
It's just one, and all the people, and I'd say that Liverpool are definitely more hungry because they haven't seen that cup for so many years, and they haven't been playing Champions League and great Champions League matches for ages. So they're just looking forward. They have it's just one opportunity. It's just one in your lifetime, in your present, because they were just playing very bad matches in the last few years, and now they are there and they just won it.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that it's going to be much more balanced than what paper says.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's going to be balanced, but then again, if you look at the statistics from the last matches, I mean, Madrid beat PSG, Bayern, and Juve to get to the final.
Yeah.
So I think that if you're going to respect the stats here, you're going to go for a Madrid win. If you're going to be more hopeful and you're going to kind of believe in Liverpool's dream for this one, you're going to go for that as well. And I think that this is it's all reflected really accurately.
Yeah.
With the odds that we're seeing. I haven't seen anything that I've said, oh, that's really shocking. I mean, there's a couple of really interesting bets to go for. There's a couple of like good specials on Ladbrokes, and there's a couple on Paddy Power 2, and BetBright has some as well. But there's nothing that I've seen that I've said, that's kind of strange. It's more about just kind of going for what you think.
There's nothing strange. It's just reality against the dream.
Yeah, that's a very nice way of putting it. Reality against the dream. Yeah, I like that.
So if you believe in dreams, just go for Liverpool. If you just want to pick the best one, Real Madrid is definitely on paper a team that's going to make it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the thing.
So I think that pretty much wraps us up. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over there before we finish?
I'd say that we've already said everything.
I think we've said everything. So I will say to anybody listening, you can find us at Gambling_com on Twitter, and tweet us and let us know what bets you're putting down. Let us know, are you going to be watching the match? What's going to be going on? I think that we'll see them in the next one.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thanks very much for listening.
Thank you.
Bye bye.